Today we're being joined by Sydney Swans AFLW Academy Draftee Kendra Blattman. Kendra, thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
No worries. Tell us a bit about yourself, what type of player you are and what got you into footy.
Yeah, so I started footy when I was in year 6 with the local under-12s team. It was the first youth girls team around my area. I've always been around sport and played a lot of sport growing up. And yeah, my brother played, so I always sort of was at his games and really enjoyed it. So then I started when I could, and then yeah, I play now. Was playing soccer before footy, so was playing soccer from a pretty young age. I think I started when I was 5, but I had to stop that a couple of years ago because it was just too much with footy. Yeah, I'll describe myself as a tall forward who's strong in the air with a good kick. Or the rock. Yeah.
That's fair. So obviously part of the Swans Academy. How did that opportunity come about and how you've enjoyed it so far?
Yeah, I've loved it. I was lucky enough to get selected in the first lot of the Academy Youth Girls. So I've been with them since the start, which has been so cool. All the coaches are amazing. They've just got so much knowledge and it's really helped me with my footy. But yeah, especially these last couple of years, it's been great to focus with a lot of other girls on improving our skills and yeah.
So one of your first games, you just casually kicked 3 and had 18 disposals with 6 tackles as well against the Bush Rangers. How was that game for you while having 25 hit-outs as well? Just a pretty awesome all-round performance there.
Yeah, that was definitely probably my best game of the season.
Yeah.
I was shocked when I came off and heard, but yeah, no, I really enjoyed the game. It was obviously, it was great. The girls played amazing. I couldn't have done any of it without them. But yeah, it was so good. Got to move into the forward, which was good. But yeah, it was mainly in the ruck, which was. But yeah, I definitely prefer the forward line, kick a couple snags. But no, that was definitely a great game to play in. Yeah.
That's good. So I'm going to assume you're saying that's the best game. Is that the best game you feel that you've ever played, not just this season, but ever played in?
Oh, it's got to be up there, probably top 3, I reckon.
Nice. Have you kicked any more? What's the most goals you've ever kicked in a game in any level?
I don't know. Probably 5, maybe when I was younger, I think.
That's good. So obviously being in the Swans Academy and also playing for the Allies. So how did that opportunity come about to play for the Allies, and how did you feel once you were first told to be part of the championships team for the Allies?
Yeah, that was a big shock. That was definitely one of my biggest goals for this year. It was crazy when I got the email. I was I couldn't hold it in. I was so excited. It's so cool to play with so many different girls from different states. You got girls from Tassie and NT that you don't usually play against, which is amazing. But yeah, getting to play with a few of the Giants girls that we verse a lot through our academies was really cool. Seeing especially all the coaches come together with all their different coaching styles. It was pretty tricky, but yeah, it was really good getting to travel with all the girls as well.
That's good. Who's been you mentioned playing for the Allies and in the Swans Academy. So who was one of the toughest opponents you've had to match up on in the competitions you've been in so far this year?
I would probably say Havana Harris, who plays for the Suns and was in the Queensland team. I was up against her in the and she was just it was crazy. Her athleticism is ridiculous. Trying to keep up with her was definitely a challenge. But no, she was definitely one of my toughest opponents this year.
It's good. Who at the Swans Academy has taken you under their wing in terms of the players at the AFLW? So obviously you would mingle around and been in part of the academy of some of the AFLW girls. Who's someone that's kind of helped you along the way and helped you in this process of the draft coming up as well and throughout the year in general?
Yeah, all the girls at the W team have been amazing this year, but one of them would have to be Brooke Lochland. She started helping in the academy last year, so we got to do a lot with her, which was really cool. And getting to speak to her about what it's like being an AFLW player and the cool experience gets to have. But yeah, definitely Brooke, especially with her in the forward line and all the knowledge she has from all the years playing footy. But another one for me would probably be Privitelli, who I've worked with this season with my forward craft and all that, and she's been amazing. I can't even. It's so good getting to speak to the girls, and yeah.
So obviously Privitelli had a great year before that injury late in the season. And then you mentioned Brooke. I had Holly Cooper on last week, also part of the Swans Academy, and now is officially a Swans player as well. And she mentioned Brooke as well. So it's good to see that these players that are also involved, not only as a player in AFLW, they're also helping out in other levels as well.
Yeah, she gives up her time so much to help us girls improve our footy. Like, she just loves the game so much, and we all really appreciate. We've learned so much since she's come in, which has been amazing. But yeah, she's definitely we all look up to.
That's good. So when I had Holly on, she was saying that she was one of many train-on players through the academy to be part of the women's team. Were you one of the train-on players? And if so, were you able to mingle with the players in terms of in training? And how was it to match up on some of the better defenders in the team?
Yeah, I was lucky enough to be selected as a train-on this season, which was amazing. Couldn't have asked for a better team to train with. The girls are all so nice and just took us all under their wings and helped us improve our footy. But I've got Bella Smith was the start of the season when I was up against her in the back line. I was in the forward line. She was just so strong. It's crazy to go up against those girls and in training. But her and BT were I was up against BT the end of the season. She's so strong.
Yes.
You try and push against her and they just push straight back. It's really cool to train with them all and get to see what it's like in a real game.
Yeah, you mentioned Bella, but I've had BT on the podcast twice, and I've had a lot of Sydney players on as well, probably about 6 or 7, and they've all pumped her up real well, and she's had a great season and doesn't like pumping herself up, which I understand. A lot of players don't like pumping themselves up as much, but she has been really good, and she said she had a breakout year and probably a bit stiff not getting the All-Australian team or squad even.
Yeah, she's had a great, a breakout season. She's played so well. Definitely in the back line, she's held it up so strong. Just her leadership, especially, I've seen it's improved so much. And her strength in the back line is crazy. But yeah, she definitely should have at least gotten, I reckon, All-Australian because she's had a great season.
Absolutely, 100% agree with that. So the draft in around 3 weeks' time, how are you feeling heading into that period? And speaking to many clubs lately?
It's so weird to think that it's so close. You think about a couple months and then to realise that it's not that far away, it's pretty scary. But I've spoken to a few clubs and it's just so cool to get to speak to them all and see what the different clubs and what they offer and their different training styles. But no, it's been so cool going into the interviews, which is definitely nerve-wracking at the start, but you get the hang of it. Yeah, it's been really cool.
You don't have to say who, but how was your very first club interaction in terms of the meetings and the interviews and everything? How did you feel going in compared to how you came out of it?
Oh yeah, I was definitely nervous, that's for sure. But no, once I went in, they were so nice. It's really chill. Not so much about your footy, but just about who you are and how you've grown up, what you've done with your family and all that stuff. So yeah, they definitely make it a full experience and stressful at all, which was really nice. So I came out of that feeling pretty good and was looking forward to some more interviews.
Well, that's good. So obviously that's good that you got some confidence out of the first one to then for any other one coming up. Yeah, that's pretty cruisy then in the end. Yeah,
it definitely helped getting the first one out of the way just to gain a bit of confidence in yourself. But yeah, that was really good.
That's right. Now, I have to ask this because a lot of people get these odd type of recruiting questions. Any weird or odd recruiting questions that maybe surprised you that you got asked?
I haven't had any odd ones, which I've been really surprised about. Pretty lucky. But no, I've definitely had ones.
I'm sure you've heard of some examples of that some people have had in the past. Like if you're a car, which car would you be? Dead or alive? Who would you go out for dinner with? Some odd questions like that. So you haven't had nothing to that level at all?
No. I've been lucky at any of those weird ones.
Very, very lucky. Now, obviously, the draft, as I said, in 3 weeks' time. Have you gone for the national or have you gone for the state with New South Wales?
I've definitely put in for the national pool just to give myself a better chance. I really want to play AFLW. That's my goal. So happy to go anywhere. Swans would be amazing, but whatever happens.
That's right. So I mean, like you said, you know, to keep your best chance keep all options open, because if you obviously then, unless you're so certain about a certain state you're in, I mean, you limit your options dramatically, and to keep it obviously open, then you got all 18 options there. So that's the smart way to go about it. Thoughts on your season though so far? Obviously, we mentioned that strong game you get against the Bushrangers, but overall for your season in the Coach League and for the Allies, how did you feel overall you went?
Yeah, I was definitely happy with my season this year. There was a couple games where I was like, I came off not feeling too great and was a bit bummed with my performance, but yeah, I was really happy with my overall performance, and yeah.
Who would be a player that you like to watch and kind of model your game off a little bit?
I have two that I watch quite a bit, which would be Privitelli, and just their like strength in the forward line is ridiculous. Their aerial marks and kicks, like being a tall forward, definitely watching those two just to get notes and see how I can become.
It's good place to go off, because obviously both very, very good players, Kate Hoare and Beck Privitelli. Favorite teammate at the Swans Academy or part of the Allies teams that you have?
I would have, there's like all the girls I love so much. They're like some of my best friends. So it's definitely hard to choose, but I also have my training buddy Morris.
So what was that? Just dropped out a bit. What was that?
Liv Morris.
Oh yeah. Nice.
So she's one of my closest friends that I've made through footy.
That's good. So you obviously mentioned some of the Sydney girls you had in contact with before, but do you still keep in contact with any of them kind of in the semi-off-season period? And have they given you any advice about this draft journey within this 3 weeks to go?
Yeah, they just tell you not to stress. Like everything will work out how it's meant to work out, and not to focus too much on it. Just to keep training. We're lucky enough to have Brooke as one of our academy coaches. So and like Davo and Bron, who are the coaches for the W team. We've started pre-season now with academy, so they've been there helping us all out. It's been cool. But they've just said not to stress out and to just go about your day.
That's good. Now, I'm sure you'll recall the goal from Danielle Ponta from the centre square in the AFLW at the start of the year. Do you feel that you'd be able to replicate that moment, or someone in the team that can, or someone that thinks they can that really cannot?
I mean, that would be great if I could replicate that. But I feel that was a ridiculous goal. Crazy. Someone there's so many girls that I reckon could do that. But I reckon Marnie Robinson. I reckon if you got her in the be able to do it. Yeah.
Nice. Nicknames. Any nicknames that you get that you like or don't like?
My footy nickname is Kenny. So
okay.
That's what most people call me. But that's sort of my only nickname.
Fair enough, that's all right. Less the better, I would say. Any coach's pet at either the academy or in the Allies team?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, maybe some people would say so, but no, I'm definitely close with all the coaches. Probably wouldn't say coach's pet, but I get along with them all.
Okay, nice. That's good. Any outside of footy interests that you have? Any hobbies that you like doing outside of footy?
I don't know. Sort of like I like surfing just for a bit of fun with friends. Nothing serious, but
Okay.
Kind of that.
So you wouldn't consider yourself then a pro surfer?
Definitely not. No.
Fair enough. What's the best goal? You mentioned earlier about your best individual games you've played in. What's the best goal though you ever kicked in? Is there any on an opposite foot, on the boundary, a check side, torp, anything like that?
Yeah. One of the ones that would be up there that I can remember would be from the Murray Bushrangers game. I took probably, I think it was like 40 out maybe. And then, off one step, got a goal, which was pretty cool. Wasn't expecting it at all, but yeah.
Take them no matter how it comes, you take, especially being a forward, take any goal you can get. Now, if you could describe your dream AFLW scenario, what would it be?
Like game-wise?
Yeah, oh, necessarily. So it could be a combination of things like team you play for, play alongside, stuff like that.
Well, Swans, that would be the team. The Swans team now, they're all amazing, so I wouldn't change any of those girls. But yeah, that would probably be the dream scenario. Get to stay in Sydney, close to the family, which would be cool.
Very true. Obviously, the BNF, the best and fairest in the AFLW Awards was last over from Conti, obviously winning pretty comfortably in the end, which was not a surprise that she won, but a surprise probably in the margin that it was. Who do you feel was the best player in the competition this year?
I was expecting Jazz Garner and Laura Garner to be up there.
Yes.
I was a bit shocked about that, but I reckon Laura Garner had a breakout season with the Swans. Like,
yeah,
good influence through the middle and everything. But yeah, I reckon she should have been further up to the top. I reckon.
100% agree. I don't know, off the top of my head, I think it was roughly around maybe 6 to 8 votes, Laura Garner, and I could not believe that. I mean, I could say a lot of things about the votes in general, but that was the one that shocked me out of everything. That was the one that shocked me the most, how she can be one of the best players this year. And in my votes that I did, she was actually second, I think, or equal second. So she was very close up there. And to see her as 6 and then see some players that were fine but were nowhere near the level she was on get more votes, I thought it was a really, really odd. But anyway, that's my 2 cents on that. I thought it was weird. So who loves the limelight, the attention and the camera at the Swans Academy or the Allies team, and then just cannot get enough and they know where the camera is to over-celebrate or anything like that?
Oh, this is the hard one. I've got to say, there's a couple. There's definitely a couple of them that notice it. But, who can I say? I know, oh, no. Oh, this is a tricky one.
It is.
I'll say Ella Parker. She loves a bit of a celebration after a goal, but there's definitely a few of them that are up there with their celebrations and know where their camera is, I reckon.
So is there any particular celebration you mentioned there about goal celebrations? Is there any particular goal celebrations they do? Do they change them up, or is there one go-to celebration, no matter the time of the game, the margin, and they'll just still pull it out?
Oh, there's definitely a few that jump on each other. But
okay.
Yeah, there's a few crazy celebrations. I'm not a big fan of the celebrations. I like to keep it nice and subtle, but yeah, there's definitely in the teams that I've played in, like to have a bit of celebration after.
Keeping it modest, that's fair. Mark or goal of the year, which one would you rather take?
Oh, that's a tricky one. I'd have to say, I reckon mark of the year would be pretty cool.
Any particular reason why? Obviously, all the people I've had on, I'm literally getting split answers every time. So why in particular do you feel Mark would be? And being a forward too, surprisingly to a degree, goal. Or because you take goals regularly, I want to do the other.
Yeah. I just feel like the mark looks cool if you do it well.
You get your photo. You get a photo if you're lucky enough for it to be captured. Whereas the goal is good, but it's a video form. Where the photo you could post it as a profile pic and everything like that, so you got a good snapshot.
Yeah, exactly.
Who would be someone to do something miraculous like a goal of the year or a mark of the year, and they'd be one to intentionally go and post it on their socials and or replay it over and over and over again?
I might say Serena Borks for this one. I reckon if she took a good mark, we'd be at the end of it.
That's fair. If you could poach any player or players from another club to join, let's say, hypothetically, the Swans, who would you like to poach and why?
Oh, this is a good question. Who would I take? There's so many. This is an odd one.
Design development, yeah.
Probably Kate Sheila.
No, an interesting one. Very good key forward, yeah.
Yeah, next year, tall forward. I mean, Mon Conti, that would be a pretty good midfield if we had her.
Yes, especially after she went last night. Yeah, she had obviously a terrific season as well. Rising star tip. Obviously, this year they announced the last one that Zali Goldsworthy just pipped Ali Morford by a vote. Who did you have going in for that? And do you feel that if Morph played the last 3 home and away games, that could have impacted their decision, or how did you feel about that? Because for me, I had a 3-way tie. I had Morph, I had Goldsworthy, and I had Ella Roberts, purely because the fact of, I couldn't split the 3. Like, I'd mount a case for one player. I go, oh yeah, no, they got it. And then I'm like, oh, what about so and so and so and so? So like, you couldn't split them.
Oh, that was when I saw the end votes. I was shocked that Morph only lost by 1, especially for the last 3 games of the season. But I reckon, yeah, if she played those, I reckon she would have topped Zali Goldsworthy. But yeah, had Zali Goldsworthy to win.
Yeah, I mean, Zali's a terrific and deserving winner, but yeah, it could have gone either way. And that was an interesting count, and that was at least one of the awards that was not an obvious one, and just generally line ball as well, to see who could get that. Obviously, North and Brisbane in the grand final this week. Who have you got getting the win and why?
Oh, I've got to say North. I don't know. I reckon they could get on top of Brisbane. Should be a good game though. Hopefully, it's as close as it was on the weekend.
Yeah, that's right. That it will be good. North have been obviously in their maiden grand final appearance. Obviously, Brisbane have always been up there, like the Crows and Melbourne have. So it'd be nice to see an outside of those 3 win it this year. Now, defenders, obviously, they don't get as much love as they probably should, obviously, with the medal, or the BNF medal in the women's and the Brownlow in the men's. It's always basically described as a midfielders award. And then with being a key forward, that the Coleman race is a forwards award. But there's no form of a defenders award. And Ruckman's starting to get noticed a little bit more in the voting as well. But should you feel there should be some form of a defenders award?
Coming from a rucker than a forward, but no, obviously I feel like they need to be recognised a bit more than they are. So I reckon the defenders award would be good for them.
It would be, and an official title. To obviously, you hear all these awards online and like Mark of the Year and all that type of stuff as well. But to have an actual recognition would be pretty good. And I mean, I think it's overdue, to be honest, because as I said, with all those other awards that kind of are around the other positions, it'd be nice to have their own form. I don't know what you'd call it, but obviously the late Danny Frawley had the Golden Fist on Fox. So it's something like that type of award and voting system where it's only defenders only that get votes. That could be something they could do. Who's some teammates you've been impressed by, either at the Academy, at the Swans, or in the Allies team as well, that kind of flies under the radar a little bit, that should get a bit more attention?
Yeah, there's definitely a few of them. From the Academy, would be Honey Robinson. She's had a great season. Obviously, been injured a couple times, but no, she's definitely one that I noticed a lot. And then Allies, probably Georgia Clark, who was in the forward line, like just so strong. Experience is crazy. She's definitely had a great season, and underrated, I reckon.
That's good. Interstate trips. Are you a fan of interstate trips?
Yeah, I love them. It's so cool. I love traveling.
It's good. Is there any particular reason, like compared to a game day, is it because you get to bond with the team a bit more compared to where it's a home game? You kind of just go from home or wherever you're coming from, and you're just with them when you're there. And with the interstate trip, you're probably there the day before with them, or even a couple of days sometimes.
Yeah, it's just cool to hang out with the girls before the game. It's such a cool experience getting to travel as well, like to play the sport you love and getting to, travel quite a bit. It's really cool.
Who did you grow up barracking for? Was it the Swans or was it someone else?
Oh, I've been a Swannies fan my whole life. My dad and brother have always been into. I've always been around the sport, going to games with them. But yeah, I've always followed the Swans.
Well, that's good. So it makes it even more sweeter then when you joined the academy as well.
Yeah, it was so cool, especially getting like the uniform for the first time.
Yeah,
that was so cool. Yeah.
Who's some of your favourite players for both the men's and women's comps for the Swans?
Growing up, I love Sam Reid. He was definitely one of my favourite players. And probably like Luke Parker. But I love all the W girls. Like I couldn't pick a favourite. They're all just amazing. That's
fair. Keep your options open. Now, obviously, Zali Goldsworthy in her speech last night, they asked her who some of her favourite Hawthorn players were growing up, and she said Matt Spanger. So it's interesting to see You've picked Sam Reid, obviously still a decent player, obviously back towards the back end. But it's nice to see a name that gets mentioned of being a favourite player. That's not always the bigger names too, or the best of the best, I suppose.
Yeah. It was correct for him growing up. Well,
Is it because it was more of a forward as well?
Oh, I don't know. I just like the way he played, through the forward line and in the ruck as well.
Yeah, he could pinch it in a few and played in the back line at some point as well. A few more questions for you. Appreciate you coming on. What's one of the best off-field stories at the club in terms of like someone that's had a tough journey, or someone that's come from another country, or someone that's had some struggles along the way and they're just happy with how they're potentially going as well?
I think I'm going to say Holly Cooper for this one. Only coming into the academy a couple of years ago. She's just improved so much, and it's so cool for her to get drafted to the Swans, which is amazing. But yeah, she's definitely one that I've been following since she's like come through the academy. It's so cool for her. I'm so happy.
That's good. Yeah, she deserved the spot. And one final question, appreciate you coming on. What's something someone does at the club, either at the academy or the Allies, that you just cannot stand? It's just something that's like they try and scare someone, jump out of it. I know a lot of the Swans girls actually have done that. Cynthia Hamilton's been victim and been the person doing it as well. So if you had anything like that, actually, while you've been at the Swans as well, when you mingle with the women's team, is a train on?
I haven't personally, but I don't think many of the girls from the academy do too much. They're pretty good.
That's good. So you haven't been part of the master planning to scare any of those players?
I have not, unfortunately, but I would love.
Kendra, I really appreciate you coming on. All the best for the draft in 3 weeks' time. If your dreams get realised, whether at the Swans or anywhere else, appreciate you coming on, and thanks for coming on.
Thanks so much for having me. Really enjoyed it.